Hello and welcome to my channel. I want to show you my first beta world. So here's the place where I started. Well, it's not my spawn point. My spawn point is way far away from that direction, but I was looking for that awesome landscapes of beta. Let me tell you a little bit about me and how I have been playing Minecraft. I started playing Minecraft in 1.14.4, and I had a great time playing for the first time. I do regret a lot of erasing those worlds. I mean, they are not great, but you know, it's nostalgia in any case. But I do recall those interesting bases where you just don't know what's gonna come after you. So that's what make it interesting. But regardless on that, I recently started seeing videos about beta 1.7.3. So I decided to give it a try, and I found it quite lovely. I really like it. So I can say from my experience that indeed there is no such thing as nostalgia in my consideration to say that this is one of the best versions of the game, simply because of the atmosphere, the sensation that you are truly alone, and the fog and some other things. So, well, this is my first base. I already am a little bit rich. As you can see, I have been exploring. So I have enough food, enough items, enough of everything. Recently, I just find that you can use saplings to cook things. So that is really game changing in the way that you don't have to waste a lot of coal to cook this. You simply need two saplings and that's it. So it is great. Here I have all my materials that I have been gathering. A lot, as you can see, a lot of clay. I'm still thinking if I want to make it, bricks or just regular clay. So this is my tunnel, and this is my little road. It's a fun experience here. I have found more interesting to build here because the landscape inspire you to build more, you know, creative in the way that, you know, you force the buildings to fit in the landscape. So the first thing I did, well, actually the first thing was that part over there. That hill isn't natural, it's fabricated by me. At the end, I don't like it. Maybe I'll change it, but maybe some irregular blocks and some bushes over here. Nothing too crazy. I didn't like these custom trees. Maybe I'll just let the natural trees to grow. Over here, we walk and we find the nether portal, which is not great either. But what I do like a lot is that bridge. I have built that bridge before anything else, and it is funny. Well, before anything else on this area. So the first time this road used to lead up to here, but since I increased my builds up to there, then I decided to change the route and transform this place into maybe that the road collapse. So when I came into this section, I found these two hills, this cliff, and I thought that it would be nice to have something here, and it works visually great. You know, these slopes, suddenly this abrupt hill, and something here, you know, connecting, and the little forest behind. So that's why I felt that I could build that here, and it's really interesting here because you have this kind of arc here, and the arc is in the opposite direction here, so it's an interesting visual effect. Over here, recently I just built the entrance to my dungeon, you know, the caves and all that stuff, but it used to be just in plain air. I don't know, I built this, it looks kind of funny, I don't know. I was thinking to change it into a lava cascade and filling it with some glass, but I also like this design. Over here, more stairs and more stairs over here. I have a slime chunk near this location. I couldn't recall where is it exactly, but it's over there. One of the things that I enjoy more about this version is the atmosphere and the feeling of fear that revolves around this truly sensation that you are not alone. But it is funny because before that sensation, you first find yourself alone. And once you are aware of that loneliness, all that sounds and maybe those silence make you feel uncomfortable and to think that you are not alone. And I do like that sensation a lot. Sometimes you don't like it, but sometimes you do. These two dogs should be guarding the entrance of this little strange castle. I don't know. It was also funny because I started building this bridge and, you know, I just did that. And then I start to build this entrance thinking in making it up to the top. But because I was mining, I just found very convenient that you can go to the bridge from this spot. So I decided to change the idea. I used to think that maybe I would build some ladders up to the top from here, but at the end I changed my mind. I don't like the view over here. I also like the limited amount of colors that you have in these versions. So wood is very used here. I like the way these pillars came. Now, I don't know the word in English, but well, being used to the situation where it's going to be dark at any moment, I'll show you this part here. You know, this is just a wall, but I decided to make a little entrance here with some buttons and having a bed here, and it worked quite well. I mean, it took me quite some time to build, but at the end I managed to make it. Oh no, wrong button. It's this one. So it closed, and I do like this idea of buttons being used as levers, so you can see and maybe figuring out how maybe it works. I'll show you in a little, but there is a lot of redstone here, you know, going all the ground and going behind these walls and over these walls just to make it work. So no, it's still not nighttime, but yeah, it was some hours of dedication for this. I feel very proud of it. And over here is just a crafting table. They are very useful to have them in a lot of places. Where is the sun? Oh, it's going dark now. Over there I have my redstone build. I'll show you in a minute. I do recall what I was thinking. I just forgot what I was thinking. Oh, yeah. I do like this version a lot, like I was saying, but you know, you miss some little details. Like these fences here, it behaves like walls, like blocks, and I don't like that. I like more the modern behavior of fences. But anyway, those are, you know, minimal things. These are just for decoration purposes. They sound so. When I was working on this little chamber here, I put them here for the sound. So maybe if a zombie or a creeper came in, I would know it. So here are my experimentations with redstone. I would love to just not hear any suggestions. I want to figure this out by myself. I do have some notions of redstone because of some videos I have seen, but still I want to find my own solutions to this. So here's a clock that I came with the design. As you can see, the redstone torch goes on and off, and that's how it works. And it is a silent clock. It's just made like so. And here is a louder clock. This block closes the circuit, and that forces this switch to contract, so it opens it again, and it's a cycle. Here I was working a little bit with the idea of the AND gates, so you will have this piston open if it's one, or if it's the other, or if it's both, but not when there is neither. And this is the design that I made for the door with the buttons. It is the same idea of the clock over here. So you close the circuit, and the redstones behave in different ways. So I think it's this button. No, it's this one. If I do this, then open what? The door closes, and if I press this button, the circuit goes on again and the door opens. So this is a design that I made to make the buttons on the other direction. Here, I don't know what is this. I cannot remember what is this. Maybe it's just that this redstone does this light it up. I don't know. I think that is. And here it's something interesting. We know that if I turn this on, it will burn out. But the interesting part here is that sometimes it just turns on again, just randomly. Let's just wait and see if that happens. See there? So it just suddenly randomly burned out again. So it is an interesting thing. And this is just a reminder that if you have a redstone torch here, the redstone above will turn off. And yeah, basically this is my redstone chamber. Now going over here, I do like that. I didn't build that. It's just a floating island. I really like that of this version. these floating islands that just spare, and the cliffs are just amazing. You know, I was hoping that the 1.18 version will be like this, you know, an amplified version of these beta landscapes, but at the end they choose to make it more realistic. I genuinely don't like that, because if you're going to build or to make a video game that is already holding some fantastic elements like, you know, skeleton zombies, creepers, enderman, etc., you know, at the end it's just real survival, it's a sandbox game, then you would expect it to be more creative. And personally, I prefer a more fantastic version of the landscape. That's why I almost do not play the newer versions. Also because my computer doesn't hold it. Now, I recently built this, the room for the mushrooms. I do not understand what is happening here, because when I place a mushroom in this section, it doesn't grow. And I already tried to block this torch here, but in this section they do grow, while there is the same situation with the torch. I don't know what's happening. Maybe this block here? I don't know. I should place it here? Maybe. So it's just to have a little control over the growth of the mushrooms. And over here I decided to extend this, and here we have a little, garden. I want this garden to have only big trees, and if you see over here, you'll find out the starting point. So this is this little fountain here, and if we go up to here, we'll descend the ladders. I still need to do a little bit of work here, but I feel quite happy with how everything turned. I like this design too, and I do like how the shadows behave. So it is the same block, this one and this one, but since there is some lightning occurring here, these blocks behave in a different palette. So you really don't need more blocks than this. Well, maybe you do. I do miss some wood blocks, and maybe just maybe some stone blocks, but they are not quite important, because you can play with the light, and that is interesting. I tried to play with the more harsh lighting setting of this, but I don't quite get used to it. I do understand why it is so important to also experiment the game in this setting, because it feels a little bit more unnerving, maybe some more clumsy, more, I don't know if that's a word in English. I couldn't recall the correct word, but in any case, I tried and I do enjoy it for a little bit, but I think I prefer to stay, oops, wrong button. That's another thing that I like a lot of this version. It loads quite fast. So I prefer to keep playing on the other setting of light, just a little bit of lightning, smooth lightning. So it is funny because at the end, since I started playing Minecraft in 1.14.4, I have this more modern approach. I have seen a lot of videos about the beta builds and how they feel, and I know that maybe these builds do not recall that era, or maybe do not recall that style. But in any case, I do have feel a lot of creative, and maybe this world is a little bit of a mixture, you know, a little more modern approach, a little more modern view of the beta, because I'm not a beta player. I have 33 years old, so this is not a game of my childhood, and I'm aware that if this game could, how is it said? If this game was invented when I was a kid, I could have played much more and I would have enjoyed it quite a lot more. Because when I was a kid, I used to play with Legos, and I miss my Legos. If you have Legos, do not sell them. Do not give them away. I regret about that. There is one last thing I would like to do before leaving. First, let me sleep. So maybe this is a kind of a way of having an anthropologic view of Minecraft beta, because at the end I'm not playing the original experience, I'm just playing a revisited experience. In that way, I'm kind of an anthropologist here, because I have a more modern approach, I have a more modern preference of lightning, and a more interesting and powerful computer. Well, no, it's not a powerful computer, but for the era, I do understand that. So the thing I want to do finally is just decreasing the render distance and having this ominous view of the landscape. So that was the tour. I hope you like it. It was quite an interesting experience. One thing that I noticed also, and I do want to say finally, is that I like how the fog behaves. Not just because it's more denser, but also when you are in darker areas, or where, I mean, when the light level is lower, the fog is darker. And I do like that little detail there, because it's not just a constant white fog, but rather it constantly changes. But I hope see you in the next time. I do not know really when will I upload another video, but yeah, just that. And maybe I'll just move to another location, because I feel just quite happy how all this area just turned out. But I think it's time to move into another direction. So I see you next time. Bye bye.